Mike O'Mara, radio entertainment.
God.
You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Fuck! Jesus, we have that wonderful, and then just the most obnoxious, screaming, overly modulated bunch of noise that I've ever heard in my life. My God.
It was so loud compared to that nice, soft, mellow music.
It was like the segue was horrible in and of itself, and then you take it times a soundboard that hasn't been the correct decibel level in 35 years. It's stunning. Stunning it is. Stunning.
This will not happen again.
Yes, it will. It happens every fucking week. God, that was so loud. Do you think about like the transition of that beautiful, gentle lady and then, how are ya?
It kind of makes it funnier because it's such a
Oh my God, that was stunning. Welcome to the bonus show, and thanks to all the people that are enjoying us on the live stream. That one hurt. That was it. Sometimes they're physically painful when it happens like that. I have a question for you, Rob Spiewak.
Shoot.
Do you hear it where you are?
No.
Because your levels are fine, your voice is fine. It's just I'm curious.
It sounds, we all have our own little setup, and it's properly mixed for me here. So I
The Mike O'Mara Show, TMOS.
Now I cranked that. Did
Right.
that
Yeah,
sound as loud to you as it did to me?
It was loud, yes.
Okay,
It was, and it was louder than the intro Rob played.
Okay, good. Loud. Well, I meant it to be because I was pegging it. Let me ask you if this
Dirty boy.
Is this loud?
No.
That could
Good.
could be a little louder.
Oh, of course it could because I had it turned down. Right, I'm running the board. That's the loud version of it.
Yes.
See, I'm just Radio 101, just trying to figure it out.
I will watch out, Mike, on the tapes. I rotate the opening tapes, so the fact that you had a screaming Eugene Levy.
About what?
I guess we're done.
He gets pissed at me.
No, I
get
don't.
Shit from our
No,
audience.
no.
You
asked
cross to bear.
No,
Crucify me.
No, you
Fucking
asked.
crucify
you
me for
asked.
Fuck Up 101.
You ask why it happens. I'm explaining
I don't
it,
care.
and then
I just don't want it to happen ever. I hate it so much. I really do. It drives me so crazy. Yes.
I'm going to work with an even softer countdown, so it really emphasizes it.
Well,
when it comes in.
it goes me to Josh, Rob to Josh, sometimes audio to Rob, and it's pretty crazy. So, yeah.
It works.
And then Rolando, who piles on and says, can you add Big Daddy Dan Wilkerson to the audio board?
absolutely top priority, Rolando, you asshole.
I just never know why you can't hear that. But anyway, let's move on. I want to do what Mark Maron, who is a legendary podcaster, legendary stand-up comedian, and a really fine actor as well. Very, very talented gentleman. And, he does this on occasion. Rogan does it on occasion. I'm stealing their thunder here where I like to do it. We always like to recommend new comedy voices that I don't know how this woman appeared on my feed. I don't know where it came from, but it might be because I am a fan of crowd work comedians. I love crowd work. And there are a lot of comedians that poo-poo it. And I think those comedians are usually a little bitter because crowd work is great because it involves audience participation.
Yes.
We love that when we do a live show. We like it when we do a regular show and we're responding to the comments. And we now have a place on the regular show where you can leave us a voicemail, which is fun too. And
I think the comics that poo-poo and don't poo-poo the crowd work are not good at it, because that's my favorite part of a show when they get sort of out of their prepared chunk and they do the crowd work.
Right.
The last time I talked to Adam Ferreira, he said it's his favorite part of the show because he doesn't know where it's going to go. And it's like a game. It's more fun for the stand-up up there. Rob Mayer is very good at crowd work.
Yeah, he's one of the better ones that does this. So this, Where do I begin with this lady? This lady is a very, very fine young comedian, and she is not like anything I've seen.
Okay.
I can't pigeonhole her. I can't put her in a particular box. Yeah,
Does she
go
have
ahead,
a
Josh. Jordan Jensen is the lady's name. She is, I don't even know. It's so new to me.
Yeah.
And I got so jacked to share it on the bonus show this week that I don't know how long she's been at it. I think she's got a Netflix special. I'm not sure.
Everyone
but
does.
she is a touring comedian and she's
Does
everywhere.
she appear to be American?
Yeah, she's American.
Okay.
And she is Jordan Jensen. No, she's Afghani.
No, that
Is
could have
what
been
she
an
is.
Australian comic. Could have been a British comic. Yeah.
So this, how would I say? She's very different in that she presents differently as far as sexuality goes. She is very comfortable with all topics on stage, and I find her absolutely captivating. And I hope you guys feel the same way. I always hate to play a comedian when Josh is in the upper left-hand corner because it's like, God, I'm
just
such
gonna
a
judge
terrible
you.
audience. You're gonna judge. All right, go ahead. Roll the first tape. Tape one of Jordan
How did
Jensen.
it go?
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody get fucked up? Anything crazy happen?
My daughter got engaged.
Oh, that's great. That's huge. Oh, what a nice mom. Just ending. I'm like, anybody get fucked up? Anybody have sex? She's like, my daughter got engaged. I need everyone to know it. Great. That's adorable, dude. How old is your daughter?
29.
Good for you. 29, solid age. Are you guys 29 engaged? No, not in New York. No. No, we're all 35 and sad. It sucks. It sucks. I feel like in New York we're so behind, and the weird thing is, like, now that I'm 35, people will be like, well, are you gonna have kids? And I'm like, bro, I decided like yesterday not to kill myself. You know what I mean? You know, I'm like on day 2 of keeping going, and you want me to bring another life into this? Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right.
She's touring now. I'll find out.
You know what's
where? Yeah,
different? Her rhythm.
the rhythm is absolutely unique, is it not? It's
It is
very
really is. It's like she starts the next thought before she finishes the previous.
Because I believe that we are dealing with an amazingly intelligent person
It
who
looks
is
like
on
it, yeah.
stage, who might have a photographic memory, who is a voracious reader. You can just tell by the way she does. She has a breadth of knowledge beyond her years that she will engage the audience with, and she knows a lot about different stuffs. Let's take one more. We got 2 more tapes of Jordan. Let's
Okay.
take a look at tape number 2.
And
of Jordan
Ozempic.
Jensen.
Let AI take over everything. I don't care. But Ozempic, I'm like, you fucking bastards. I mean, obviously, I've had to spend my entire life battling weight. Like, if you grow up with type 2 diabetes, your entire adult life is just not eating and then eating too much and not eating. And then you develop, like, a mental illness around eating, and you get really obsessive about eating, and then the obsessiveness about eating becomes, like, an OCD in general. You can't trust yourself out in the wild as, like, an adult person, you know what I mean? Because you know that you got yourself super fat, you know? Like, you have all these intrusive thoughts about, like, harming babies or something, like throwing your friend's baby on a hibachi grill, you know what I mean? And then you're like, your friend is like, you're not gonna hurt my baby, don't worry about the baby. And you're like, I can't trust myself. And they're like, why not? And you're like, bro, I ate enough cereal to be 220 in the 6th grade. I'm pretty sure I can stick a chopstick in a baby's ass. Like, I am not to be trusted, obviously, right? So then you have this OCD that comes from fucking, you know, being fat, and then what happens with OCD, it tells you that you aren't allowed to take drugs, right? So Ozempic comes around, you go, I can't take that because it might make me fundamentally a different person, it might turn me into a weirdo, and it might make me vain or something, and then people won't really like me, or maybe they'll only like me because I'm skinny, and they won't really like my personality, and then someday I'll gain the weight back, and then that person won't really love me again, so I better not even take it. Also, maybe it could cause cancer. That's less of a concern in my OCD stuff, but maybe you guys have that OCD, but that's not what I have. And then... And then all these fat fucks just lose all this fucking weight with nothing, no discipline, nothing, fuckers. Are you kidding me? Although I hear that it's making their bones brittle, which I say, yay. I say, yay, I will grind your bones to make my bread. If I could eat bread.
Oh my!
She
God.
moves so quickly.
Oh,
And,
amazing!
and
Amazing.
also never a missed word that makes me think she's got that George Carlin thing where everything is memorized.
It might very well be. I think she's got a lot. She does a lot of writing because she tests stuff out on stage. I have been obsessed. And you know, when you linger on a lot of these shorts on social, they just inundate you with it.
You watch one, you get 8. Yeah,
and I stop on every single one of them. We'll show you one more of Jordan. I really rarely think that anybody deserves this much time.
Okay.
But I had to share this with you, and I hope she gets everything she deserves. Let's take one last look at Jordan Jensen.
You're pregnant? Are you still together? He's blocked on everything and you're having his baby. Okay, great. He might. Yeah, does he know? Great question. Thanks. Oh, he does know. And do you think maybe you'll get back together? Never. Okay, this is going to be quite a bad childhood. Okay, you might as well sign your kid up for OnlyFans now and just get the Patreon going, honestly, and just say, come 17, I'll have her live. So what are you going to do? Are you going to cut him out entirely, or are you going to let him in a little? You know that people can fight in courts and take children. Did you guys ever have the dad? I had the dad where it was like, he hated us so much, and then my mom was like, I'm taking the kids full time because you feed them mealworms, right? And my dad lawyered up and was like, these are my girls. And we were like, well, you put a cigarette out on us last night. What is this coming from? You know what I mean?
And just obviously a background that is fascinating that she references. So check her out, Jordan Jensen. I just had to share that.
She even moves fast in her crowd work, and there's no way she can prep that.
That's where I said I haven't
very
seen
impressive.
anybody like her.
Very
I really
impressive.
haven't.
I was trying to figure out if it was slightly sped up because it's so fast for crowd work.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to tell. It's she's that good, and I am. As soon as this show is over today, I'm going to be going. Where is she? Because I love to go see her. And I said that about Ian Bagg. I got to stop being a fucking homebody and get a loan. That's all. If I stop being a homebody and get a loan, that's fine. And Carla, by the way, speaking of loans, you know, letting me know we were denied again right before the show, not the best idea. Not the best idea. Please help. Please, okay.
So Mike, the rules are no sex before a boxing match.
Yes,
and no loan refusals before a show.
No loan refusal before a show.
It takes your edge off.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. You know, one little missed mortgage. Jeez Louise. They just bite you in the fucking ass. That's how they get you, you know?
Yeah. I hate
swear
bankers.
to God. You know, I came out of the grocery store today and there's a guy in a fucking Ferrari with his engine idling, and I wanted to stab him in the balls with an ice pick.
I'm sure it was stolen.
Well, what happened to me today was Geico canceled my insurance today because of my stolen credit card.
What?
And because of because yesterday they tried to charge me and it didn't go through because my credit card was stolen. They canceled my insurance, and then I had to call them and get it all straightened out today.
And they reinstated you and all that good stuff
and everything. Technically, Kelly took care of it.
Be prepared. I haven't discussed this on the show, but a long time ago, about a year ago, we're having dinner with a father of one of Michael's friends, and he is an investment guy. He follows trends and all that. And he had a few adult beverages, and he began to give a fatalistic view of the future, the likes of which I was stunned. I was almost laughing about it. And it was so new at that particular time to me, like, oh God, I don't know what the hell he's at.
Yeah.
And then since that time, we have had, with the AI infusion, we have had multitudes of individuals that are preaching the same thing.
Yeah.
That, there was a guy that I watched today that talked about, you think about San Antonio's a dead town. They're all dead towns. They're all going to be dead towns. Get ready now. Prepare yourself. Get ready for it. And I believe they're correct. I believe that you're going to see radiologists, neurologists. You're going to see investment bankers. You're going to see doctors, lawyers, professionals of every kind. And this revolution, which is moving at light speed, is going to, take over.
Yeah.
And there are going to be a shit-ass ton of human beings where we're sitting there going, what?
Yeah, wandering. We'll be wandering.
You don't, right now it's just like, hey, I asked for some help on a term paper and it really went, and it's going to be everywhere. Yeah. And that seems to be the anthem. And my point is, when you mention that, Josh, is the algorithms and the cold isolation of these computers and these AI systems. There's no negotiating here. You don't have,
Right.
they have a program. If you don't fit the program, bing, 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 that's it. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
And it is, it's a strange world. It really is a strange world. And, you know, I'm frankly down the road, I don't know how quickly it's going to come, but do you hear the same things
Well,
about
I do.
this
And-
technology?
And if you stop and think about having a fatalistic attitude, right now is the best time in the history of the world to have it because it's happening around our ears. And I think
I
we
don't
all-
understand what you mean.
I mean, we are closer to things just being totally out of control than we've ever been with AI and politics in its particular mode right now, and war and all this stuff. I think we've all, as a rule, talked ourselves into saying, it's not so bad. Because if you really, really embraced how bad things are right now, you'd be a mess.
Right.
You can't do it. You can't
Right.
grab and put your head around it. The
Really?
fact that we're going to be, controlled by we could conceivably be controlled by robots in 15 years.
Right.
It could happen.
Well, I don't think it's that simple. I don't I don't think
I
it's
feel like
robots
it's-
controlling. It's just the elimination,
Broad terms, yeah.
elimination of jobs.
Yeah, I feel like they've been calling for this my entire life, ever since computers came out.
Right.
That they've been calling for less and less people doing work. And I guess now you got guys like Elon Musk, who's at the forefront of all this, calling for we need universal income because
Yeah.
he believes it will remove all these jobs.
And Mike, it was the same way when you were little when they invented the cotton gin.
I was so happy.
I know.
Before then, it was like, what animal could you kill? Was it warm enough for the winter? It was
Exactly,
very frustrating. I think that, so the concepts that they have now, there will have to be some sort of safety net. This guy who was talking to us says you're going to see the gulf between the haves and have-nots is going to become greater than it is,
And it's already happening.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it greater than it's ever been, and it's going to be an interesting world that we live in, and we'll see what happens. But the elimination of and not just the Joe jobs. We're talking, as a matter of fact, Joe jobs might be more secure, but intellectual jobs that have required creativity in the past, that's gone already.
Yeah.
That's really gone already. Voiceovers gone.
Yeah.
Graphic design gone.
Yep.
You're talking about commercial production gone. Movie graphic designers gone. It's actors are still there, but they will be able to manufacture. It's just, if I start thinking about it, my brain will explode because I'm trying to just imagine how vast it is. It's as vast as the galaxy.
You're not as good as compartmentalizing as I am. I've made a career of it. And if you think about it and you can't compartmentalize how bad things are, it will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just,
Is that why? And I'm asking seriously.
yeah.
Is that why when you were kicking booze that you made a decision not to go to any kind of meeting whatsoever?
Now, you see, that's
you
not-
went to therapy, right?
Yeah, and that's not exactly true. I never ruled it out. And as a matter of fact, been in touch with a guy I've known literally since kindergarten, and he goes to a meeting, and I'm going to go with him to one in the next few weeks.
And why now? I'm just curious.
Because we went out to lunch. We hadn't seen each other in 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
And we went out to lunch, and I'd been in touch with him from Facebook from day one because I know he was a buddy. He was a buddy in kindergarten, first grade.
When you had your difficulties, is that
Well,
when you
no,
rekindled?
it was after, because I just followed him sort of, passively on Facebook. I didn't realize he'd been through a lot of shit. I mean, a lot of shit. And he's back to a good place now, and he's happily married, and he's, great with his kids, but it wasn't always thus. And I said, how did you do it? And he said, the meetings, the program. And I'd started to talk to him about it, and he says, it's not all about stopping drinking or
Right.
stopping the drive to drink or
Right.
harm yourself or anything like that. It is much more, at least he explained it at his meeting, more of a community where people have something to look forward to for every meeting. They've got friends there. And he says, don't ever underestimate calling someone, even if you don't know them that well. Call them out of the blue and just say, how you doing? That's kind of what this meeting of AA emphasizes.
Oh man, I am. Well, first of all, let me say this for on the record, so everybody can say I wouldn't say this to. I really wouldn't. I feel more comfortable saying it here. That you did what you did, and you did it on your own, and you kicked it, and you have been sober. You had a milestone a couple of weeks ago, right?
4 years and 1 month.
4 years and 1 month, and I think it's great to hear that you'll be going somewhere where you can get meet people that can be in a circle of friends. I think that has been
And
something
also-
that you and Josh becoming friends has been wonderful for me to watch, because I know that one of the things right before you had your problems with it, where it all blew up, was losing one of the best show related friends you ever had, which was Mark Riddell.
Well, I mean, literally my best friend.
And-
not
and
even
really-
just show related.
So to hear this is new to me, and but I guess I'm referring to at the time you were choosing to do it on your own.
I always had the number ready to go in case I
Okay.
felt like I would break it. I still occasionally, and this was so funny when I was talking to this buddy of mine, because he'd been through a lot of the same stuff and more so. And I asked him different questions that I'd never asked anyone because they hadn't traveled this circle. I said, "Do you still dream about drinking?" He says, "Yes, absolutely."
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
And I always wake up in the dream, I'm disappointed. And then I wake up pissed at myself at the thought of it. It's usually someone trying to trick me in or have one beer or something like that. And it's a horrifying notion because you can see in your dream everything reversing.
How many times is it Mike trying to trick you in your dream?
Every time.
Last night,
But he's wearing a disguise.
last night, I said this on the regular show earlier today that we taped this morning, early in the morning, and I talked about the Omaha steak burgers that I have just been on a kick. They are so fantastic, and I was doing it. So I was making one for Carla. I was making one. Carla says, "How about we have a glass of wine?" And it was just we had a really, really good meeting, as I mentioned before, with Michael's teacher, and so we had a glass. I wake up this morning and come out early in the morning to take my son on a field trip. We have to be at the school at 6 a.m. It's 5 a.m. as I walk out. And I look, and next to where I sit is half a glass of wine. I don't know when the last time was that I poured a glass of anything.
That you didn't finish,
and left anything in there. And it just, I don't know whether that's, it could be attributed to drugs, or it could be attributed to just moving on or whatever. But that to me would be something that I would love to hear more about.
Weird. Yeah, and I will let you know when we got to coordinate to make it happen. But it's a hard yes. And another thing he said that was so,
I think you may surprise yourself and find kind of a new path of helping other people that might
that's
be
the
pretty
thing that he talked about, is reaffirming in the fact that it's not just people going there to get help.
How good do you think he'd be at that, Josh, right? Don't you think Rob would be somebody that would be phenomenal, like to help other people that are going through that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it is, you go there to lend a hand, to help, to meet these people and do that stuff. Why are you laughing?
I'm looking at Rolando, who's a regular, and what about heroin addiction? That's mine. I'll never leave a syringe half full.
Well, you have how many dealers do you support?
Constant.
And I was talking to my mom. She's, for the past couple months, she hasn't had a glass of wine, which used to be like, set your watch to 6 o'clock by my mom's glass of wine.
Yeah.
And I said, why? She says, well, you're doing great, and it sometimes makes me feel not good, and it's expensive, and
It's big booze, I think, is
I
getting
don't need
scared,
it.
too.
Oh,
I think big booze is
there is
freaking
less
out a little
drinking
bit.
now than there has been in my entire life.
I know there is, and I think it has to do with the cycles. I'm not as into it. Josh's generation's not into it as much as we
and
were.
it's more and more people moving to the gummies
Yeah.
Yeah.
and being like, this without the negative health issues.
There's a big fat guy. I don't know what his name is. I didn't want to share too much with
Is it me?
He goes on and he's got like 4 of these big fat things. I don't know what they are. And he shoves them into his mouth and he goes to like an amusement park or something. Like, it's just funny. It's funny experiencing that. But
I took
a
a slight gummy when I went to the last wedding I went to. It really helped.
Yeah.
Because-
whatever.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to, by the way.
What?
I don't know. I don't know the AA rules. I don't know the.
No,
I don't know.
You don't want to substitute an addiction with another addiction.
That's exactly what it is.
This is true, but
Yeah.
I don't take them but once or twice a week, if
Yeah,
that.
but you go to a meeting and find out, and
Yeah.
and see what it is, and I've never been concerned about. No, I lie.
What's that?
I lie. Josh, I was concerned when he did the second show on the cruise.
Well,
And
that
he
was just bad-
Oh.
that was
he
just bad
high
planning.
out of
Oh,
his
I wasn't-
fucking mind.
I wasn't concerned about it, but it was clear that the gummy
He
hit a little
was in over
differently
his
then.
head, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was in over his head.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was
There
like,
is a line, and you mustn't cross it.
There's a balance of knowing it's going to hit in about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
What will I
Right.
be doing in that position?
yeah.
So yeah, and as far as substituting one addiction for another, I don't see this as an addiction because it's not a daily replacement for the ritual. I could give them up. I know this sounds jive, but I could. I mean, if I didn't have them, it wouldn't be a big
I
deal.
agree. I don't think the gummies feel like an addiction. It's more like, all right, I'm going to
treat.
relax tonight.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
let me
someone
go
that has
on
a drink
record
in-
and say you two are fucking potheads. There you go.
Okay.
There.
But I want you guys to know, and everyone to know, before I started with the Soul Gummies, I talked to my doctor. He said, that's not going to harm your liver.
Yeah, but this
And-
is the same doctor. Isn't this doctor everything's okay? Isn't it? Rob's doctor's name is Dr. E.O.K.
See, Mike, you love to say that, but
know.
he
I've
did
said it
save
for months.
he did save my life. I mean, he's
Or
great.
Is he one of those, it's from the ground guys?
What do you mean?
Like it can't be bad because it's just grown. It's healthy. It's natural.
No. He's not one of those guys. But he has recommended some like holistic things that are great. He's
Like
just
what? Like, because I'm always curious as to what's new. What would
like
be,
I take
is it coffee? Is it coffee enemas?
No. Like for example, I take dandelion root every night, which
Really?
is not proven, but supposed to help your liver heal.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
He
And,
told me what vitamins to take. I take a multi, but I also go wild on vitamin C. I take a lot of that. I take
Do you take the dandelion root because it's more cost effective than other supplements? Because you can just go out in the fucking yard.
Mike, I go outside and I root for the dandelions. Is what I do.
That man, Rob's community. That man.
Hi, Marge. Hi, I'm calling. There's a rather large man that seems to be rooting through our backyard. Not sure what he's doing.
Looking for truffles?
Or you can dig and run.
Another
and-
thing that Costco has had it, but when he recommended it to me, I had to go to, I think it's called Super H Market, which is an Asian grocery store. And it's like a citron jelly. Citron is the mysterious hunks of fruit in a fruitcake that you can't identify.
Right.
And you pour a mug of boiling water and you add a teaspoon of this stuff. And it is as healing for your voice as anything I've ever tried.
Okay.
And
right.
it is,
How
and
does-
it's
how's
it's
the
an Asian
taste?
thing. Yeah, it tastes not fruitcakey, citrusy, but not overwhelming. If that makes any sense.
No, it does. I get it. I get it.
But,
That's cool.
I mean, and he's cool about recommending stuff that other people might not.
Mm-hmm.
And what's very cool, and I'm sure I've said this before, I met my doctor when he was a nurse and he was caring for Robert. When Robert was in the hospital with leukemia, and we'd do overnights, Carrie and I would switch off. And I had many long conversations with him when he was an overnight nurse. And he was learning, he was, in medical school at the time. He couldn't go all the way through because couldn't be accelerated, but he was taking the classes as he could. He's a military vet. He put he made ends meet by being a nurse. And I said, Kevin, when you become a doctor, I will be your first patient. And what's been so cool about it is that he's a little younger than me, but not much. And if your doctor is the same age as you and you stay with them for 20 years, you grow old together. Yeah. And he understands the questions you're asking.
Well,
and it's so comfortable as opposed to, a guy with no bedside manner.
I kid a lot, and I've never said it, but I mean, I'm so proud of the fact that one of the letters that I wrote to this teacher was one of the words I used a lot. Rob's heard me use this is engagement.
Yeah.
And nobody is more engaged. You were engaged even when you were drinking. I mean, you were, but the engagement every day, when you do what I do for a living, to have somebody that is truly engaged in the show, and Josh and Rob are both engaged. I've worked with Rob a very, very long time, and the best quality is his engagement with the show, where it's just, in that moment, which is, and I was an engaged guy when I worked with Don. That was my job.
It's really part of the job.
You've got to be engaged in the moment. You really have to be paying attention to what's going on. And, through it all, though, to see you make those transitions, and, I've been with you on bad days and we've been with you on good days.
Yeah.
But to see you do that, that's no small task. And to see now that you're now at this stage, I think that's one of the things you would hear from people that go to those kind of meetings, where you can never be too late to go to one of those kind of meetings.
No, and I think it is a two-way relationship, you being helped and helping other people. Also, I think everyone goes through a thought process is, how am I going to do this? I'm all alone. Even with great friends like you guys and my amazing family, you still feel like you're alone because it's your struggle. And if you can meet with a group that all shares that struggle, it'll soften it. Absolutely.
Want to say to Pete Eastway, thank you for the comment. My sympathy to you on your sister, and that's I agree. Don't put any smoke or vape in your lungs. Terrible way to go. I agree with that, and thank you for sharing that. To Dirk Vastrick, I got your messages, Dirk. You're very sweet. Thank you very much. One of the nicest guys I know, and what a supporter he's been for all these years. I think reaching out is one thing. But earlier in the week on the show, we were discussing the documentary on Netflix, which is The Prophet, False Prophet.
Oh, you must be referring
to
the Sam Bateman show.
Rob calls him Sam Bateman. This story about the Church of Latter-day Saints, the fundamentalist Church of Latter-day Saints, where they're polygamists and they got in terrible trouble, and this lady goes undercover and gets all this footage. And I have not stopped thinking about it since I watched this documentary, because I wonder...
if you could start one.
And you can be in our cult. All you have to do, there is a code up in the upper corner. All you got to do is scan that code, and you can be in our cult. Scan that code,
find out how you can be in our cult. I wonder, I wrote this down earlier today where I said, what makes people do it? What makes people join a cult? I believe that it's not laziness. It's insecurity at its core, where we don't want to do things on our own. We don't want to critically analyze things on our own. It's easier, in a way, to just believe what somebody is saying is true and that they're making the rules and you follow the rules. But I wrote it down. What makes people join a cult? Now, in the case of these people in Utah or Arizona or wherever they are, they... in many cases are multi-generational. So the kids
they're born into
it, and that happens. But I wrote down, is it mental illness? Is it you were raised that way? That, of course, would be a way that you would be there. Are you abused? And then you gravitate to, this is
someone who pays attention to you.
Are you lazy? Is that what it could be, where it's just a laziness factor where you don't want to think? Are you too passive? Are you isolated? I wonder, really, when I think about this, what motivates people to follow this?
Everyone wants attention. Everyone wants to be loved.
Yep.
So if it
validated
fills those needs,
right?
And validated,
yeah.
And when you
watch Sam Bateman, he is taking time to make each of his 14 wives. He takes moments to make sure each one of them feels special. And if you come from a broken home or some sort of bad background where you never had a parental figure make you feel special, that's like crack. I mean, that's got to be great for them.
Referring to
it's
this,
bad for them.
I'm sorry if you haven't seen the documentary. This guy is a bag of shit. I mean,
he's the worst.
Is absolutely zero on the charisma scale. I would imagine he has the evil smarts in the manipulation way, where he's able to do this. But all of these guys, your David Koreshes, your Jim Jones, that can make people... It's a form, I think, of brainwashing to a degree.
I think he may have started with an evil intelligence, But he got so diluted that when he had people literally...
I have to stop looking at the comments today. Yes, I'm glad Jimmy Hoffa said he wouldn't mind joining a sex cult. That's right. Good luck with that. Have fun. Yeah.
But as he went on, if you have some sort of secretive stuff going on, and keep in mind, all of his stuff was secretive when it started, he turned that into a documentary about him. He was calling to be filmed. He wanted, and just like he wants probably all of his wives to feel special, he saw that as an opportunity to make him be elevated.
And he was deluded as well.
Oh, the worst. Yeah.
And I think all the leaders, it becomes control. And how much can I get away with? How much can I push this? Will everyone follow me off this bridge? Will they drink the Kool-Aid after me?
Yeah.
Will they do whatever I say? It's control.
Yeah, I agree.
Do the closest the closest thing I would say would be my religious background that I've had, where you wonder about the Catholic Church that I was raised in, and you see people. And I know we asked Josh earlier in the week about various churches he's been a member of and pastors and whether they're. And I think you demonstrated that you're pretty grounded in the knowledge that these are, men, flesh and bone. And the guy that's up in the pulpit is not the guy that, is spouting the word of God. He's not, I mean, he's interpreting the good book, as they call it.
No, that's why every time there's a pastor that gets in trouble with something, I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed and sad, but I'm not surprised because it's humans and we put ourselves in these situations all the time.
Do you think that people that enter the profession of being a man of the cloth, and let's for this time exclude Catholics, just
Father
overall.
McDonald? You don't want to include Father McDonald?
I don't.
Father McDonald, when we make the parade float for the St. Augustine Church, would come by like on a Friday night and go, "How you kids doing?
Yes.
How you kids doing? You get a float? Yeah, it's a good-looking float." And then he'd get back into his fucking Cadillac and weave down the road.
We could swap stories, Mike, about him and Father Jim Den, who took a lot of money from my previous generation. However, the people that are drawn to be in that position, it's almost like seeking political office without the election. They're going to be looked up to. They're going to be listened to. Do you think they enter it? The right reason would be to guide people spiritually. But the wrong reason would be a position of power where people have to listen to you, or at least are expected to.
For monetary gain, or for power, or for sex, or for whatever that is.
Do you think that is a main thing that makes them want to have that job?
Okay, go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
Well, I think 100% of the people get into it for the right reason. But I think power corrupts.
Okay. You mean you say 100%?
At the very beginning?
When they go to seminary.
Oh, I disagree with that.
Because
No.
I don't think they go in and say, "Hey, I'm going to start I graduated from high school. I'm now going to go to seminary so I can learn Latin and start a mega church and all this." I think they go in for the right reasons, but power corrupts, and suddenly it's, well, I can do this.
I would venture to say there are individuals who might, who knows what's in people's minds, but I think there are people that do it like you say, where they go in with the right reasons and maybe with the good reasons in their heart. But I think there are also people that say, "Hey, look how much money this guy's got." I think there are people that probably aren't all that religious that go to one of those, who's the guy? Joel Osteen? Osteen?
Yeah.
And they see a guy like that. He's flying around private jets and that. And then they go out and say,
Gemstones
I can do that. I can go out and do that. And the motivation is there. And here's the thing. And I am not an atheist, okay? And I don't like the word agnostic. I think it's a fucking cop-out. But I am also not an overly religious person. But I have to say this. If you are the kind of person that goes in and realizes that this is your meal ticket, that you're going to get rich on the backs of preaching this, put the money in the collection box every single week, I think it's a different kind of evil. Because you are not only profiting off this, but if you are doing this, you are so far away from what would be considered a devout or good person or person of faith. You're the far end of the spectrum. You're going in the opposite direction by telling these people like Jimmy Swaggart and Jim Baker and all these people, and they know. They're not total idiots, right?
Yeah.
I think they know that. Now, they
And if
might
it's-
rationalize it, but
Well, of course they do.
who
But if it's
fucking
not
knows?
financial gain, I think some of them are probably driven by gathering the adoration of their flock.
Yeah,
because-
it's like being a rock star.
Yeah.
It's like being
exactly.
a doctor. It's like anybody in a position of power. You know, you get into that situation where it's why so many young child actors get into a world of trouble because they have smoke blown up their ass at
Yes.
such an early age, and they go nuts.
Yep.
But as far as the followers are concerned, I'm just amazed how many the numbers that they have. And it's not now. But then again, in this particular circumstance, out with the polygamists, this guy was bringing the other fathers in.
Yeah.
To bang the other underage girls.
Well, he convinced him that he was the new, what do they call
Prophet.
them? No, but he said he would receive impressions, which always made me laugh because I thought of you and Jeff Goldblum. But
it was so cool.
I know.
That is a wonderful idea. Let's
But I
explore
think
that. Shall we? Yes.
he was probably able to hoodwink the other husbands because
No. I don't. I think you're
Do you
giving
think
people
that-
way too fucking much credit here. You're talking about these guys that one of them went away for like 50 years, the other
Yeah.
one went away for life.
yeah.
They wanted to get their nut. That's what they wanted to do. They were being led by their penises. That's what they were being led by. I don't give a shit. You say you know if you're in a room
Right.
and you're doing what you're doing, you have to have that. You know that's not coming from on high. That's
No.
coming from your Woody. That's what that's coming
Yeah,
from.
but the people
you know?
that followed him were already set in a pattern of following a man who was in
the
jail.
girls, yeah.
Well, yeah,
And-
but
and
I think the guys to a certain
were set
extent
up-
too.
The guys were set up to be him. To
Yeah.
be like him.
Yeah.
Well, the guys were, you know, I think if you're sitting there, I don't know. It's such an amazingly different concept to me to think how people's
think
brains would
a
work.
lot of the
Do you
brides
think they
are
really
there-
think I'm going over to Sam Blackwell's house on Friday night.
Bateman.
For the fuckathon.
Yeah.
Because and you'd sit there and go, God's going to really like this. Do you
Yeah.
really think they were that deluded that they rationalized it that way in their minds?
If you heard it enough and that was all you were surrounded by, you might start to believe it. As tragic as that sounds.
I haven't seen the documentary yet. Did they try to rationalize it in the documentary? Like was it a
No, early on,
multiply and populate the world
this
reproduction thing? Or
this lady's named Christine Marie. Early on in the documentary, she talks about her experiences, and she knows right away. She goes into this thing to kind of do a documentary about the church and you know what they're doing since Warren Jeffs, I believe, is the
Jeffs,
guy's
I know
name.
the name is Jeffs. I don't
And
know
he
his
was the
first name.
first prophet guy. And then very early on, he realizes that this Samuel Blackman guy, Bateman, is a super perv. And he's preying on these young girls. And at the same time, round about this time, one of the older ladies in this cult, she becomes aware of it and she finds it inappropriate as well.
Right.
And that's what eventually, and once they finally after the ineffective police department.
Oh,
who
that one cop.
Yeah, that one cop.
Why
who
did
can't
he
do
even
dick.
allow himself to be interviewed?
Because he's probably part of the same cult.
Oh,
He's
God.
probably part of the same. And finally, they get an FBI agent who can really think
And
critically.
she was awesome. The FBI agent.
She brings the whole thing down. It was stunning to me the way that all went down.
The only
really.
thought I had is if they weren't a member of the cult, the reason they probably stayed in the environment, it was such beautiful countryside.
It's weird, isn't it, out there?
Very strange.
I mean, an amazing mountain back, very, very Reno Vegas like, very,
Yeah.
very like
Did you
rugged
prefer
territory.
Did you prefer the greenhouse to the blue house?
Oh, I like the greenhouse.
I like the blue house. So if
you
we
like
move out there,
the ratty? That was the fuck palace.
yeah, but you know what? That's a great fixer-upper.
It's just, I don't know. The two things amaze me.
Yeah.
People's capacity for evil
Yeah.
and people's ability to be bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think anybody can. We are living in a world where every fucking day we are bombarded by people telling us what the right thing to do is.
Yep.
And what the right way to live your life, and the right way to get rich, and the right way to have a family, and the right way to play sports, and the right way to get a job, and it's just nonstop.
But
It's
it wouldn't
nonstop.
exist if we as a people weren't hungry for it. If we didn't desire something to make us feel included, but still special. I mean, you can't sell something to someone that isn't going to buy it.
Have either one of you stopped to think about the world, going back to our original topic here, and what it might look like when this whole revolutionary AI, moving faster than the age of the internet, takes hold, and you got a lot of people that are just sitting out in the middle of a field not knowing what they're going to do with their lives, what that's going to look like? Do you have any idea? I have no idea. I don't know.
It's a lot like my life now. I just have to pick the field and go and sit there.
There you go.
Because about after 9:20, you know, I'm a
God
no.
damn.
I think of it as it'll be a new kind of depression, like not just of economic depression,
All right.
but like
I
the,
like
the
that.
Great
I like
Depression,
that. All right.
but in a different way. When you see people living in essentially lean-tos, and there's 10 people in there because no one can find a job despite looking for a job.
So
they can't get it.
what
Well,
is your
gonna have to
hero?
be- It's going to have to be something with purpose. Everyone's still going to have purpose in their life, and suddenly work is not going to be the purpose. So it's going to have to be either a hobby or something, because as far as not having jobs, they'll figure that out with like a universal income or something. But there's going to still have to be something where there's purpose in your life, whether it's art or something creative. There's purpose is what drives us all.
Do you think it is you are painting a somewhat rosy picture of the future. Do you see this universal income that's being discussed as being an income that will allow people to pursue these hobbies and do good activities, and we're pointing ourselves towards a euphoria society? Is that what it is?
I think technology always makes our lives better, and we have to adjust and learn how to work around it. I think technology destroying the world and destroying us and putting everyone out of jobs and everyone in a worse place doesn't help anyone. Then you're talking about 100 guys who own these companies who are in good and the rest of the world bad. That's not going to work for us as a
kind of what my
society.
buddy said at the beginning. He said you're going to have the glitterati. You're going to have the people up on the mountaintop that control all the rest of us minions
And
down
that's
here
what
in the trenches.
These dystopian movies like to paint things that way.
Right. Yeah,
And
that seems
I-
that's Hollywood. That's
Right,
that's
exactly.
entertainment. That's what they seem to dig. You
I
know?
don't. It's going to have to be a pretty magnificent program leading up to getting universal income or national income for people.
And can I say this? I
Yeah.
think that idea is whether or not are they really going to care.
They might
Because
not.
as you get the owners, George Carlin said it, boys. George Carlin said it. You don't have choices. You have owners.
Yep.
They own you. They make all the decisions. They own all the major corporations. They own all the land. He was so prophetic with that. It was absolutely true. And the question is not necessarily are we going to get anything, but how much are we going to get, and who's going to make the determination of what we get? And I think a guy like Elon Musk, when he discusses, universal income, you're talking about, a guy that has kind of a pretty dark view of the unwashed. Would that be accurate? I mean, he kind of thinks we're all minions that ought to feed off each other. You know?
I can see that. And when Josh was talking about all of us having a purpose, and it made me think back to the Great Depression. And one of the things that got us out of the Great Depression were the programs that Roosevelt designed to
The New
get
Deal.
people working. Yes, the Works Progress Administration, for example. They got-
WPA.
they got people that built the Hoover Dam. But keep
Right.
in mind, there were also people hired by the government to do art, to beautify cities, to paint murals, to do sculptures, to improve on architecture. So maybe Josh is not that far off about assigning a purpose to people to give them something. The worst days of my life, and I'm not I'm not totally done with mourning. I'm not totally done with depression. I have good days and bad.
Oh, yeah.
But
of course.
the best days are the days that I've got something to do that I know about when I wake up and I go do it and it's done. And if I have like I love a day off, but it doesn't strike me as anything that inspires me. And I end up feeling pretty glum on a day off because there's not much to do.
Since we like to tie everything together on our bonus show at the end of the week,
Yeah.
something Josh has wanted to talk about for some time. Josh, how does this tie in to the missing scientists?
The missing scientist.
Where are they? Don't know.
Could you give us a couple of sentences what we're talking about here? Where, some of these scientists, have gone missing.
There are 12 scientists who have gone missing in like the past 3 years.
Yep.
And they all have like high-level government clearancy. They're all working on either UFO stuff, space stuff, or like fusion energy, like this future stuff that is going to change the world eventually. And they all either go missing or they die in mysterious ways.
At young ages, too. Yeah. So we need to figure out, is this our government? Is it a foreign government? Or, Mike, is it the Martians?
Exactly. And it's gotten enough attention for the president has spoken out about it in the past 2 weeks. Congress has spoken out. The FBI says, hey, we're taking this serious and looking into it.
Yeah.
And
you're talking about
weird story.
legitimately, and then another guy committed suicide recently, right?
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
a
and
dude
that guy-
that offed himself. Yeah.
Yeah, and that guy came outside to the police outside his home and shot himself in front of the police, even though like last week he did a podcast saying, hey, it's really weird all these scientists dying. Just so everyone knows, I have no suicide thoughts.
Wow.
He said that on the podcast?
Yeah, he said that
And
on a
was
video
that-
like 2 weeks ago.
Was that an immediate red flag for people? Did they think something was up when he said that?
No.
Obviously, it didn't work if they were suspicious.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
I
think
guess.
he fooled many
I think-
people.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like higher people, scientists that are doing this who are saying, hey, I don't know what's going on with these. Just so you know, I'm not going to kill myself. So if I die, there's something happened. Something's weird.
Oh, do you think
trying to
that's
warn.
why?
That's
That's
what he
how
was
he
doing.
said it. He was
Yes,
saying, if
that's how-
something happens to me, that's
Yes.
movie
Yeah,
plot.
it's all weird.
Yeah, very
and
very
it's,
weird
and it's
situation.
weird when you read the article, and they vary in age from like their 70s, and there was even some in their 40s, that they can draw. It's like the string board in a conspiracy theorist's house. They all connect somehow. Even people that used to have high government clearance. One guy who has been declassified and didn't have access to the stuff anymore, he disappeared.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
But he used to. So, maybe they were working on his memory. But
And it was like
it is
it's-
too freaky.
Some are
Where
missing.
does
some are
Tyler Perry?
suicide.
Where does Tyler Perry fit into all this?
Oh, well, Medea is designing a beautiful outer spaceship, and it's called Medea Goes to Space.
So much going on. I feel.
Well, first, you got to get her
here's-
out of jail.
I thought,
that's
didn't
right.
that movie end with her out of jail? Because she was home in time for
I
Thanksgiving.
didn't watch it.
I feel that we are on the precipice of things happening so fast
Yeah.
that we're not going to be able to keep up. That things are going to. I don't know if it's tied into but since we're talking about things we don't know about, cults,
Yeah.
scientists dying, AI taking over the world. I mean, we are living in and here's the thing: when these subjects become the front page, when this is the stuff we're interested in talking about, all the other bullshit, politics that we've been talking about solidly for the last 5 years, that gets on the back burner, and we start talking about. I'm hearing more about AI than I'm hearing about Trump lately. That's
And it feels
that's
like-
where we are.
And it feels like with the AI, with the constant news cycle, and with all the podcasts, like things aren't secret and kept from us anymore. Like everyone can know a little bit about everything, so it makes these other stories kind of come to light.
Yeah.
Well,
There was one guy in the article I read, I think it was CNN, that said, it is literally human nature. We are programmed to try to find patterns in things. And so this pattern of dead scientists might not be as much of a coincidence as we think.
Right.
But still, when you read the statistics, it doesn't take a lot of finessing to turn it into a pattern. These people are dying.
Yeah,
And what it
it's
is,
weird.
is it's news stories like the fireballs and stuff last week. It's news stories that used
What
to be
about the
on-
fireballs? I didn't hear about no
I don't know about no fireball.
Oh, yeah,
What's
yeah.
about the fireball?
People are seeing fireballs more than ever now. Like every week there's a fireball reported. But
Yeah.
these are stories
That was Mike's
used to
nickname
be-
at AU.
Fireball.
No, fireballs.
Fireballs. Yeah.
These
A little,
used to be
little
the
disease.
coast to coast conversations. Well, and the that George Nori radio show used to be covering these stories, and now they're all in mainstream news.
Yeah,
Covering the
it's like
weirdness.
it's going.
You don't have to find Art Bell anymore. You just turn on
Right.
David Muir.
Mama, this is a good roast. Pass the biscuit, please. I'm looking out in the front. Look at the front yard. That's a fireball.
Lord
fireball.
have mercy.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, educated by scripture. There we go. Giant fireball coming.
How
out.
big are the fireballs?
They're this big to make that kind of a fire. Look,
Yeah.
oh, there's another one.
Oh, God. The fireball have a gun?
I'm trying to find the right.
There you go.
Oh, that knocked the neighbor's garage clean off its foundation. Fireball!
It's probably what took out that scooter this morning.
Could be. Could
Fireball.
be.
Watch out for
Fireball.
the fireball. There you go. The one thing I wanted to mention as far as I will call this segment, it's not even a segment, it's a thought. Fuck stick of the week.
Oh, okay.
I give you the Mike O'Mara Show fuck stick of the week. All right?
This is a good bit, yes.
Look, I realize that we are down here with people that are a little long in the tooth. And I have been, and some of them are still here. Some of them are here forever. Some of them are going back to their other little homes that they have.
Are
and
any
they're-
of them scientists?
No, they're not a fucking scientist within 150,000 miles of here. And I will understand when, say, I'm coming out of the community or I'm out on a main drag and a car seems to be a little challenged and you just know there's
Yeah.
someone that's so old, you don't, and you try to just, you let it roll off. You really do. So
Sure.
Sometimes it pisses you off more than other times.
Live and let live, Mike.
However, if you are driving, and I will show you the picture of the car, if you are driving this vehicle, the vehicle that I saw today, a replica of a movie vehicle from American Graffiti, and if you are driving,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and you are going 20 fucking miles an hour under the speed limit, assholio. I didn't. First of all, I wasn't able to get a look.
You want everyone to look. You want to show off.
Yeah.
Kiss my Irish balls, asshole. I mean, it was ridiculous.
What kind of road is this?
It is a 2-lane road going over a bridge. It's a little one of those little parkways we have here where everybody goes at speed. It's a pretty decent clip because it's an open space roadway. So this cocksucker decides that he's going to go in the left-hand lane and he's going to just go 15 miles per hour. For what reason, I do not know. But at least get in the right side of the lane. And then I look and he's driving he's driving that thing.
Mike, you would look great in that car.
I'd love to drive that car.
Yeah.
I would love it. And I would
What,
I would speed. I would speed.
I would speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
How old was he? Was
I
this like his
couldn't
high
tell.
school car?
I could because see that tiny little dipshit windshield that he's got in the front. It looked like he had tinted windows on the right, and I couldn't see in the front. But that's what he was. I remember I said that's the American Graffiti car.
Yeah.
And the guy that's driving the car in the movie is a hot rodder.
Yeah. He's
Going,
the guy
going
that
super fast.
He's the guy. It's Paul Lamatte. He gets stuck with Mackenzie Phillips in the movie.
What a dick.
Yeah.
What an absolute dick. And I literally was hoping that I would be at the stop sign, it would turn red and he'd be next to me. Because I would roll down the window and I wouldn't cuss. I wouldn't do that. But I would look over and I go, what is the reason you're driving that car
It's like Arch Campbell.
at going that speed?
You know what?
Can you explain to me, asshole, why you're going 15 miles an hour on a 50-mile-an-hour road at that speed?
I think the problem might be is that
little dizzy.
within his car, he has his auto drive set to non-aggressive. And Josh, you need to talk him into making it a more aggressive car.
You don't have settings like that on your car, do you? Non-aggressive? Do you have non-aggressive on your car?
Yeah, I have chill.
You have chill. That's what it's called? What's
I
it
have
called if
chill.
you want to just get there and everybody else be damned? Do you have a setting for that?
Yeah, it's called Mad Max.
But
Is
don't
it
you have
really?
to unlock
It
it?
is.
You have
No,
to unlock
have-
it, or
you
does
just
it
have
come
to
with
select
it?
it? I normally drive in standard or hurry. And above that is Mad Max, and below that is chill.
Mad Max. Hey, I know he said it to Mad Max for a time. Have you said
Oh,
it to Mad
sure.
Max?
I have never said it. Oh, no, I did. When I got the fish hook in my hand, I put it in Mad Max to get to the hospital.
Didn't you put it in Mad Max for a minute when you wanted me to show how fast the pickup was?
No, I just floored it myself.
Okay, I thought you had changed a setting.
As we wind down the week here, I'd like to ask Rob. Rob, do you have any other videos this week of a violin being knocked out of someone's hand?
I do
the
not.
greatest video of the week.
I do
even
not,
close.
but
All right.
I do have this, which I think is pretty good. Let's go to the news story, please.
New video and details tonight after a hot air balloon makes an emergency landing in a backyard in Temecula. We're hearing from one of the passengers on board.
Hi,
The sudden
everybody.
drop-
It's like 12 people 13 people in this balloon basket, and the basket is almost the size of the yard.
And he brought it down safely. The guy
He
gets
did.
a lot of credit, right?
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
don't look
13
phased at
strangers,
all.
Stunning the
And look,
homeowners
here's the
and their
dummies.
neighbors.
Take a picture.
Thankfully, no one was hurt, and everyone walked away just laughing about this experience.
Look at that hair.
Incredible video, including
Shut up.
a
He's-
new angle.
shut up. I
Beautiful.
wanna listen to
News
her,
reporter
pal.
Amy Powell
All right,
explains the
all right.
landing did include several heart-stopping moments.
Okay, all right.
People
Chill
who were
out,
on board
unibrow.
that hot air balloon are praising
Listen
the
to
pilot
Amy
who
Powell.
pulled off this incredible emergency landing. So many things could have gone
So-
wrong, but when it landed, everyone was smiling.
Smiling.
Look at this. This is footage from the balloon.
A hot air balloon ride.
Not
coming
even a
to
hard
an
landing.
Unexpected end for the 13 people on board when it was forced to land in the backyard of a home in Temecula.
So cool.
like, oh my gosh, we're in the backyard.
Okay, that's enough of her.
Fuck you.
But you know who would really like that is if he was in his backyard and Charlie got a balloon.
I'm really sorry. Look, I will give everybody at least half your money back.
Any coupons, Charlie?
No fucking way, Rob.
I know you have a business to run.
No fucking way at all. I can't do that. Hey, everybody, what a great week of shows we had. Up in the left-hand corner, you'll notice the TMOS tips. No, it's the wrong way, Rob. You're pointing the wrong way. There it is. It's over there.
Okay.
There it is. It's there. There.
Other way.
No, sorry, there.
There you go.
I just want to. What about me? I'll point to me.
That's why we were never weathermen, because we couldn't get the green
Well,
screen
I'm in a
right
different
the way it
box
went.
today, so I'm all confused.
Yes, help. Here's the story of a man named Brady. Josh is up in Northern Virginia this weekend. He will be with Mr. Chad Dukes, and Rob's going to be going as well
Exactly.
to the, what is the thing called? Another plug, please?
Fairwinds Brewery. Doors open at noon on Saturday.
The show's
And-
at 2, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What part of Virginia is that in?
Lorton.
Oh, that's right, Lorton. We found that out. No more prison there, but there is a brewery there. And,
Mike, I'm sorry that the prison is gone.
Oh, I love that prison.
a
Really.
great one.
Oh,
It's a
fantastic.
good one.
It's a good one. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. I'm going to go apply for another loan, and we'll see you Monday, everybody. For Josh Soroka and Rob Spiewak, Mike O'Mara saying, so long, everybody.
I'm sorry, Mr. O'Mara. Denied. Love you, Pop.
Hello, it's Mike. If you're hearing me now, you are a TMOS Bonus Show subscriber. And if you are a Bonus Show subscriber, I just want to say thank you. You are a vital part of our show, and your support makes TMOS possible. We love you. Now don't get happy.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.